What's up, everyone, and welcome back to the Stocks with Mike and Tom show. We have a great video for everyone today. The market was pretty crazy. We had VXX have a mega short squeeze, which was just an insane event. We're going to be talking a lot about this in a couple minutes, and believe it or not, we had news come out today on how AMC, of all companies, is actually buying into a gold mining company. So that was very interesting, and I'll just say there was a lot of weird news today, like AMC buying into a gold mining company, hedge funds getting screwed over with VXX having a giant short squeeze. So stick with us today, guys. We have a lot of big news, and tomorrow is going to be one of the biggest trading days of the year. So stick with us.
Yeah, this is going to be big, guys. And AMC had some pretty good movement this morning, Mike. After they made this announcement, they actually had a pretty nice close at the end of the day, up around 1450, ended up closing up 6.78%, which was awesome. And they're buying out HYMC, which is a gold miner that has not been doing too well over the past couple of years. You can see their share price shot up pretty high this morning, Mike, up to around $3 a share. Then they traded lower throughout the day. But CNBC has a great article about them showing how they're buying a small mining firm with troubled history, in their own words. So that's a big deal. But either way, Mike, the volume on HYMC shot up over the past couple of days, right before this announcement came out. So you could say that somebody might have known what was going on. But either way, a lot of volume came in today as well, shooting it up. And it's going to be interesting. I know that HYMC hasn't had the best history, and looking at it, I know AMC bought them for a pretty good price, Mike. They bought them for around $27.9 million in cash, which honestly isn't too much. Honestly, we see a lot of deals go for billions of dollars a lot. So to see it go for only 27 million isn't bad for them. And they're going to own roughly 22% of HYMC. So that's going to be the big deal there. But you can see there's a bunch of different data points on the CNBC article here if you guys are interested in that. But Mike, HYMC shot up pretty much this morning and then gave it all right back.
Yeah, that's true. And I just want to emphasize one more time, AMC is going to be around a 22% owner in this company. And just like Tom said, it was around a $28 million deal. You could say 27 million. But yeah, it's interesting. You don't hear of AMC or meme stocks buying gold mining companies too often.
Yeah, you definitely don't. And I know that gold has been starting to fly up a lot lately. I know it's been dipping down over the past week, but if we look at gold on a daily chart, generally lately it's been flying to the upside in a big way. So I wonder if this is like a bit of like a hedge or something AMC is doing. I'm really curious on their overall strategy behind this. So we'll have to look more in depth in that as more articles and stuff start coming out. But it's definitely interesting, Mike. Like you said, there was a lot of weird news that came out today. AMC's share price is honestly, Mike, kind of bouncing down there around that $13 support. So who knows? Maybe we'll see this one start to go back on the uptrend as the hype is back. But I'm not sure this is going to save them yet or not, Mike. The deal is only 27 million. So I will say I don't expect them to, get a bunch of volume back just because of this.
Yep. And then let's also talk more about VXX, Tom. Today was like a once in a lifetime type of event. Normally, when the stock market goes down, VXX rises. But over the past 2 days, from highs, VXX rose around 60%, which is jaw-dropping. And normally, we only see these types of moves out of VXX if the market just absolutely crashed. But what's interesting is the market actually had a pretty good day. So what's weird is basically what happened. Barclays announced that they are going to suspend the creation and sales of their VXX notes. And long story short, it screwed over a ton of other institutions and hedge funds and things like that. There was a giant short squeeze with VXX today, possibly a gamma squeeze. And it was just very interesting. You almost never see events like this. And if you want to learn exactly what happened with this, check out, I'm going to put the link to the other video. It's going to be that first link in the comments down below. I made a video about this one today, and it's like 12 minutes long or something like that, and it covers everything related to this situation. So feel free to check it out.
Yeah, and it was some crazy movement, Mike. VXX was exploding. Like you said, this short squeeze or gamma squeeze really pushed this one up. It got halted multiple times, I believe, to the upside. And then even as it started falling down, we saw a couple of halts back to the downside. But, you can see VXX ended up closing pretty low today. So the volatility was definitely there on this one, Mike. Like you said, from the low of yesterday to the high of this morning, it was up like 60% plus. So that's a big move, guys. Definitely be aware of this. Of course, this has to happen, Mike, the day before Powell speaks. This is probably going to get a lot of retail investors pretty worked up. I'm sure a lot of people might have been jumping into calls this morning and stuff like that. And look at that implied volatility shoot up on VXX, Mike. I will say these options this morning were highly overpriced.
Yeah, no doubt about that, Tom. Looking at the market overall, it was pretty good today. The SPY finished up almost 2.5%. But what are you thinking with the market, and what levels do you have for us heading into tomorrow?
Yeah, tomorrow's going to be big. And honestly, the SPY's sitting right around this 427 resistance. Powell's going to be speaking tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern or 2:30 p.m. Eastern time. And the Fed's interest rate decision is coming out at 2 p.m. Eastern time. But the biggest event is going to be Powell speaking at 2:30. It's always a big event. He sometimes takes some questions at the end of it. So it's always interesting to see what he has to say there. But looking at the market, Mike, well, like I said, we're sitting right around that resistance at 427. There is some resistance as well around 428. So you could maybe say right around those whole dollar marks. But honestly, if we break above 427, Mike, I'll be targeting somewhere around 430 to 432 on the SPY. Hopefully we see it rise up in anticipation of Powell speaking. He's been a pretty good cheerleader lately. And I will say, ever since his renomination, he's been more hawkish than usual. So I am a little bit worried about the market, but overall, the Feds have been pricing in the market's been pricing in a 0.25% interest rate hike. And that's what's expected. And hopefully we come in right at that expectation so that nothing crazy goes on.
Yeah, we will see. But yeah, I mean, like Tom said, 2 p.m. Eastern is like the start of the event tomorrow. So be on the lookout for that. There will be live streams all over YouTube. But Tom, what else is going on in this crazy market?
Yeah, I actually saw some pretty good news come out of the airlines this morning, believe it or not. And Delta Airlines shot up 8%. We had American shoot up 9%. And even Southwest Airlines closed up 4.8% today. And they were up a lot higher if you count the high of day. So these airlines had some great news. They said bookings came in ahead of expectations after the Omicron wave subsided. And this is just great news overall for these airlines, Mike. Obviously, fuel prices have been going through the roof lately. And you can see that these airlines generally on like a daily chart here, they've been going down for the past 3 to 6 months. And if we look at crude oil today and over the past week, it's been falling back down in a major way. So it's good to see these bookings come across for airlines. And it's good to see the oil costs just going down in general, because this is going to mean the airlines won't have to expend as much money for their jet fuel and stuff like that. So in the end, the airlines had a great day today, and I'll definitely be keeping my eyes on them as they raise these outlooks here.
Right, there we go. So, Tom, I want to bring up a stock really quickly, Square. This stock is up almost 9% today. It's one of my longer-term plays, but I just wanted to cover it because, in my opinion, it's looking pretty good, especially for the long term. And plus, when you have a 9% up day, I feel like it's worth bringing up. But it is right back above that $100 resistance level. So, what do you think of it?
Yeah, that's really nice. I know $100 is always a huge psychological level in people's minds, and it generally poses a pretty big support. So now that we're back above that, hopefully we can hold our ground, Mike. Looking at Square on the 1-year daily chart, it's been consolidating a lot down here around $100. Of course, we fell through it a little bit there, kind of setting up like a bit of like an inverse head and shoulders with $100 being like the neckline there. But either way, I like that support, Mike. Hopefully it holds up. And, a lot of growth stocks had some nice movement today. Square moved up. Facebook moved up. We had Zoom in the green, Disney in the green. Today was a pretty good day, Mike. I know yesterday these stocks sold off in a pretty big way. So I was really happy to see them all coming back to the upside today. We even had the big chip stocks like Nvidia explode way up 7%. AMD was up almost 7% as well. And they even closed at their high of day today. So that was nice to see out of the chip sector. But like I said, tons of green came in, Mike. And I'm really happy to see these growth stocks starting to get back on the uptrend. It's been a long time.
There we go. All right. Well, Tom, do you have any final thoughts with anything for tomorrow with Powell or any stocks, any favorite setups?
Yeah, I really hope Powell helps the market out, Mike. Like we saw today, the SPY kind of rose in anticipation of this event. We had lots of stocks in the green, and we also had the bank stocks do pretty well. To me, these bank stocks are going to be a big deal, Mike. If we look at JP Morgan on the daily chart, they are dipping down in a major way. I'm definitely going to be eyeing up a longer term position on some of these big banks. But looking at JP Morgan, they've been dipping down, Mike, ever since this Russia situation started to hit the market. And a lot of people have been saying that the banks have been falling because rates might not rise as quickly now because Russia brought a lot of uncertainty with it. So looking at it, maybe the banks will react well to what Powell has to say tomorrow and they'll start to shoot back up. That would be the best case scenario, obviously. And JP Morgan's been consolidating a lot around $130 to $133. So hopefully we see a nice breakout here.
Sounds good. All right, well, let's get right into the momentum plays for tomorrow. With the first one, we have Square to the upside.
Yeah, with Square, good. Just go ahead and make them break the high of day there, right around 104.
Right, with the next one, we have DraftKings.
DraftKings, they were pretty explosive, up 5%, almost double topped here, Mike. Make them break above 1625.
Right, and then with the last one, we have Zoom.
Zoom, another nice one here. Go ahead and make them break above $100. That's going to be another nice psychological resistance, just like what we saw with Square.
Awesome. So we are watching Zoom, DraftKings, and Square for potential day trades to the upside tomorrow, only if they break above the levels Tom listed. And then I want to give a giant shout out to Jay Deep in the Discord. He's the member of the day today. Thank you so much for being a great member of the StockedUp Discord group, and thanks for all of your activity on the live streams. But then, Tom, the market's going crazy. We're set for a giant day tomorrow. Stocks are looking pretty good heading into this event, but again, there's still a lot of volatility priced in. So tomorrow is going to be a giant day. I know there's going to be a lot of eyes looking at the S&P 500 and especially these growth stocks. So buckle your seatbelts, everyone. We're set for a wild ride. I just want to say thank you guys so much for watching today's video. And if you guys liked today's video, definitely consider subscribing. We post multiple videos every single day. And if you're new here, why not subscribe? It's free. And a lot of times when you guys comment what stocks you're watching in the comments down below, we usually make a video on them. So consider subscribing. Besides that, thank you guys so much for watching.